shop. Ici c'est comme partout, c'est monotone. Les yeux d'une fille prennent un garçon. Vite fait, bien fait, y a pas de feuilleton. Elle court, elle s'assied dans l'avion, puis s'oublie dans la musique et les chansons.
I forgot my wallet, then I had to go back for my coffees. Then I forgot my coffee, so I had to go back for my wallet. I haven't been feeling well lately, so let me show you what goes into a Hunter not feeling well beverage. Cucumber, banana, 2 cloves garlic, kale, hemp seeds, strawberries. Alright, I made my smoothie and Stephanie made me a delicious breakfast. So I'm going to eat this and then go to work. Alright, this is the video that I was talking about making for the past few days. So I finally sat down, collected some thoughts, and let's just go right into it. The theme and the idea of this is how I've gotten where I am right now. And what I mean by how I want to explain how I got here now, I'm not talking about like having a cool house or a cool job. That's not what I mean. I'm just talking about simply the path that made this happen and made me sit in this chair talking to you. I feel like a majority of you, probably 99%, don't really know much about my life or who I am or what I'm all about prior to this vlog. And that's totally understandable and normal. I mean, what I show you is what you know about me. So I felt like it was kind of an interesting idea to kind of go back and just kind of pave a little bit of picture of where this all came from and how I got to this place right here. I would say the road to where I am sitting in this chair right now started in 2006. I was in film school in Ventura, California, and I was just bored with the whole thing, and I had lost any sort of aspiration to be a certain kind of filmmaker. And I had met a girl through my sister back in New York City, so I used that as an excuse to move back. Naturally, that relationship didn't work out, and naturally, I was stuck not being in school anymore. I was washing dishes at my family's restaurant and just really bummed out and kind of just depressed about it all. So I eventually came to the idea to go back to school. You know, my school only looked at it as I was gone for 6 months, so they gladfully re-enrolled me. So I drove back to California from Connecticut in January of 2007. And this is part of the story where I could just talk about this particular part of my life for a long time, so I'm going to try to keep this brief. I got back to California in January of 2007 and went to Sundance with a few friends. When I got back from Sundance, I had some sort of extreme mental breakdown, and it lasted for about 2 or 3 years. Some people will remember this, others maybe not so much, but I was convinced that I had a brain tumor. I had really bad hypochondria, and it's funny thinking about this stuff now because Stephanie doesn't even really know me from this aspect of my life. This is something even before her. I couldn't really explain what I was going through to anyone, and it's still kind of hard to describe what I went through now. The only thing I could really think that helped it was just time and distractions. I was in a few relationships that distracted me. So after college, I moved to San Francisco with a girlfriend at the time, and naturally, that didn't work out. So I was seeing myself kind of doing this back and forth between California and the East Coast for years. This lasted until 2011, where I finally just got back to New York City and made some goals for myself. So prior to going back to New York City, I was engaged and living in Los Angeles. I'm sure eventually we will talk about that more. I wanted to make my album, the one that's on vinyl now. I got a group of musicians together and we worked really hard on it. And I'm forever thankful for that situation. I'm forever thankful for those events to happen to lead to all this. Some bigger picture things from this whole story is I said no a lot to a lot of people. I feel like my life is very particular and I want very particular things from life. And it was always a constant struggle with my parents trying to describe the kind of life I wanted. And I think only in the past year or so, it's been easy for them, especially my mom, to kind of digest who I am as an adult. But it was really hard a lot of the time, especially during film school and right after film school. And she's just trying to help me in my life, but I'm wanting things I can't describe. I show a lot of great things on this vlog, and that's not saying my life is perfect. You know, I probably have $20 in my bank account at any given time. No one's life is perfect, and that's totally fine. But for now, what I'm just trying to say is I really like this part of my life, and I really like where I am, but I think it's really, really important to look back a lot and see where you were and if things worked out the way you wanted them. I'm really lucky and thankful to have people like Stephanie in my life because she, through it all, years of going back and forth, of trying to explain what I want for my life. People are finally understanding what I think of life, how I view life, and what I want out of it. And I think that this vlog itself has opened up not only my eyes, but my family's eyes, my friends' eyes, my girlfriend's eyes. And that's something that would have never happened if I never sat down and started talking to a camera. I don't know if it was rambly, I don't know if I made any sort of sense in what I was trying to get across, but I'm just sitting down talking about it. Thank you for sitting here and watching this. This takes some serious energy for me to sit down and talk about this stuff, so I appreciate you who did stay and listen to it. So anyway, thank you again. Let's get into this bread making. It's time to make some bread. This time I will give you the recipe and I will show you how to do it in case you guys, want to follow along at home. Anyway, let's make bread. I am asked every once in a while how I do the whole bread thing and how I make it. So I'm just going to lay it all out. I'm going to show you the ingredients you need. I'm going to show you the process of making it. First thing we're going to start with is 2.5 cups of tepid mineral water. If you don't have mineral water, go to the store and get some. If you can't do that, you can use tap water, but let it sit for a little while so the chlorine and stuff like that can evaporate. Secondly, you're going to need 1 tablespoon of yeast. I'm using active dry yeast, that works fine. Then you're going to have 1.5 tablespoons salt. Lastly, you're going to need 4.2 cups of bread flour. That's all you need to make this bread. 4 ingredients. Let's put them in this bowl and mix them together. Alright, get your flour in there. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, mix your yeast into your water before putting it in. Just makes it easier. Now we are going to mix it on the slowest setting you possibly have. It's been 10 minutes and this is what the consistency should look like. If it does not look like this, there was a water-flour ratio issue and you should probably start over. It's too hard to save at this point. Anyway, I forgot also to mention that this recipe is for use only with a Dutch oven. If you don't have a Dutch oven, I'm really sorry. This is just how it works. Anyway, we're going to let this sit in an airtight, warm, dark place for 1 hour. Alright, now that you've got it shaped into some bread, what you're going to do is fold it onto itself like this. Once you have it folded, you want to flip it not side down onto some parchment paper. Alright, once you have it on the parchment paper, you're going to let this sit for another 45 to an hour. You don't have to have it airtight this time, but cover it, keep it somewhere warm. Okay, when the time comes, the next step is going to be to preheat the oven to 480 with your Dutch oven inside of it. You want that thing to be hot when you put the dough in. As you can see, that has risen quite a bit. We are going to transfer this to an extremely hot Dutch oven. Alright, so that cooked for 30 minutes at 480. Now we have 5 minutes left at 460. When that's all cooking, I'm making some pasta to eat with the bread. Alright, so it is time to take this out. And this is going to be really, really hot. So if you have one of these, double up, triple up folding this thing. And let's get this thing out of here. Alright, let's check this thing out. Alright, you guys, this is the finished loaf of Dutch oven bread. I'm going to let this sit for a little while and then I'm going to cut it open and I'm going to eat it. Something the Dutch oven provides that other cooking utensils don't is the ability to trap in moisture and heat at the same time. That leaves you with a really crunchy crust with a really soft, chewy bread inside. Listen to this crust. Alright, you guys, let's check this out. And that is how you make my bread. If you guys enjoyed this video, I hope that you make your own bread. Let me know again if you have any questions, and share if you make some. I'm excited to see. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.